Hey everyone, so here's just a quick video just going to explain what vibe coding is, and what we'll do is we'll just build something really like minor to start off with, and yeah, just go through the setup. So if you want to go ahead and follow, you can either grab this desktop app and the iPhone app, or you can simply just use a terminal command. Okay, so what we'll do is I'll open up the desktop app. We'll create a new terminal. You can see I've got some other projects here. We'll just create a new one and we'll just call this one timer. Okay, so this goes off, sets up a project for us. You can still use all the shell commands, so you can do pwd and all this kind of stuff. We'll add a folder, so let's go ahead and add a project folder and we'll call this timer. Okay, and then we can check we're in the timer folder. Now here's the thing, so before, if we ever wanted to code anything, what you'd do, you'd go ahead and you'd basically open up your VS Code editor and you'd basically start coding, whether it's Python, C, TypeScript, anything that you want, you basically go ahead and you start coding. But vibe coding is just human language, so you don't have to do any of this. So we've got all our different models now. We've got Claude, we've got OpenAI's Codec, we've got Copilot, for Git, and then we've obviously got Gemini, Google's AI coding assistant. So they all pretty much do the same thing. I tend to stick with Claude. It seems to be much better, but what I'm going to do is do some comparisons in all these three in some of these tutorials. But yeah, let's just go ahead and just use Claude. So what you can do now, it's basically Claude is just in an empty folder. It's just in this vibe coding timer folder. And then we can just put, just anything you want. Build me a simple Python timer that will display over the screen. Okay, so goes off, and then what it will do is it will come up with a plan, and then it will basically build us a timer. Okay, so we can obviously go in, we can check the layout, we can check the folder, we can check what it's doing. But I'll use this timer for my tutorials. I'm going to do quite a few. We're going to build some pretty big services, right? So we'll basically try and do a clone of Headspace first. Then we'll clone like Netflix. We'll build a full media streaming suite. I've got 15 years of media experience, so we'll do that. So we can go off and it's going to build a Python overlay timer using this. Now again, I don't even really know Python, okay? So it can build anything you want. So we can go ahead and put, can you run this? Okay. So this will go ahead and run it, okay? And you can see it's already firing this up. So this is sort of what you get when you're, coding or using vibe coding. You get these errors, but you can pretty much, well, actually that's a shame. Let me just run it again and I'll show you what you can do. So what we can do is we're running, it will give us the error. Then what you can do is you can open up the error and we can use this screenshot option here, okay? So you can basically screenshot. Now this is like super powerful, use it all the time. So screenshots, and you can put its error in, okay? So that's basically going to go off. It reads the image and it tells you, it's crashing from Xcode. Got compatibility issues, so then it runs all these different commands, checks the versions and stuff like that. So again, like vibe coding is just kind of persistence. I get that it's a buzzword and I get that people always saying it's going to take their jobs. What it does is it just does things super quickly. Okay, so here we go, we've got our little timer here, and you can go and start, okay, and reset. Yeah, it's just built us a basic Python timer that we can use, and you can pretty much just go back and forth with it now. So we can just say screenshot, and we can put the buttons are washed out, okay, and we can close this now, we don't need this anymore. Okay, let's kind of fix that. So what it's going to do, we'll just go back and forth, back and forth. So when we start building these big clones for like Netflix and Headspace, we're going to get really advanced with this. This is just a quick intro tutorial. And okay, so there we go. It's kind of fixed the issue with the buttons. Okay, so we just kind of didn't do any code in there. It's basically gone off. It's you know, coded us a little timer. It's not great, but it took us what under a minute. Okay, so a couple of things that we're going to use if you want to follow along with the headspace and the other tutorials is if you go ahead and check general in your security settings, and you can either have screen share or remote login. But what we'll do is we'll be using the mobile app quite a bit. Okay, now the reason we do this is because when we build like the Xcode apps and stuff like that, it's super easy to be able to, like, you know, flick to the mobile app. And if you've got the desktop app running, then it's even easier. So we can run the mobile app, and then we'll go in and we can find our session. Okay, so which session did we just create? Timer. So we're now in the timer session. So the good thing about it, you can see it's updated the screen. So we're in a mobile session now, and it means I can basically go anywhere. So I can go anywhere in the house now. I don't have to be sat in front of the screen. I can go down and watch Netflix and just code from my phone. So I can put can you add milliseconds? Okay, and yep, it's going to go off. Should add milliseconds to the timer. Okay, and honestly, there's going to be loads of fast forwarding in these tutorials because, you know, with VybeCoding, you spend a lot of time just inputting things and then waiting for it to complete. So we've got a milliseconds here now, you know, running. Okay, now we could build that in if we close the app, you know, we can just flick back over to the main session now. So we're back on the main session, and we don't lose these sessions. I feel like you lose a lot of sessions with Claude, but this keeps all the sessions, so you'll never lose them. So you can continue where you left off. If I'm downstairs now, I can just open it up on my phone. I don't need to be on the computer. As long as this desktop app's running, then we're good. But yeah, we could ask it to build it in TypeScript, C, any programming language, you know, and we can get as advanced as we want with this. Okay, but that's just a quick overview. I was saying, like, the next one we're going to go all bells and whistles, and we're going to build like a Headspace, which is like a meditation app that I really like. But we're going to kind of clone it and build the whole thing with AI, you know.